This should be spoken about and raised with every Muslim woman. How can you be female and believe this is the word of your Creator? Watch Bob brilliantly demonstrate the misogyny of Islam, despite the attempts to deflect and avoid the issue.
Are you a Muslim? Yes. Do you believe in wife beating? The Quran does say that.
With a feather.
Yes, it does.
With a feather.
No, it doesn't say that.
It does say with
You're
a
lying. I'll show you. I'll show you. You're lying. You're absolutely lying.
I brought them this hadith right earlier. They couldn't answer it.
Right. Wait. Hold on one second.
The Quran
Hold on one second.
I don't know about.
Hold on one second. Let's just be clear, right? Because you've just told an outright lie, and I know you have.
With a feather.
Does not say that in the Arabic. Show me in the Arabic where it says the word feather. Let's get it out, because I know you've just told a lie. And you probably just told a lie because maybe, are you from a Muslim background?
She's English.
Exactly. He's lying to you about what Islam teaches, and so are other Muslims. So do you believe in wife beating? Yes, it does. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Right, it says strike. Do you believe that men should strike women?
It explicitly explains it in the Quran.
No, show me. Does it say strike? What? Does it say strike? Yes, it does. Right, let's show you. Right, have you pulled it up, bro? Just finding it now. You might get to it faster than I do. Just tell us the surah and the ayah, please.
It's you're talking about Surah Nisa, chapter 4, verse 34.
Chapter 4, verse 34.
Men of the caretakers of women, by that Allah has given one over the other, and what they found from the world, do not devoutly obedient God.
Okay, Surah. Do you say Surah 4, ayah 34? Right. Here's what it actually says.
Chapter 4, verse 34.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mus. Here's what it actually says. As to those women on whose part you fear disloyalty. So firstly, it's on the suspicion. Do you believe that a woman should be punished just for a suspicion?
But that's not, when you look at
It's literally right here.
Let me get my sentence up. When a woman is suspected of adultery, you have to bring forward 4 witnesses to confirm that it's actually happened before any of that kind of thing actually happened.
Right, you completely ignored the question.
But you're ignoring
You completely ignored the question. Just like you accused Ish of ignoring your question, you're now ignoring my question. The question that I'm asking you is very clear. Should a woman be punished on the suspicion of doing wrong? Right, now, you've just said a lie, because you've just said that is not what the Quran says, so I'll just read you what the Quran says. As to those on whose part ye fear disloyalty and ill conduct. Ye fear. That means suspicion. No.
Yes,
does it say that?
Tribunal in Islamic.
Does it say that?
Bob.
Show me in the Quran where it says that.
Bob.
You're lying to yourself.
Bob.
You're lying to yourself, and you think I'm an idiot that you can lie to me.
Bob, mate,
Go on.
listen. In Islam, you're...
Honestly, you attack the Bible, you should look at the Quran.
Majid knows that. Bob, listen, I want to have a good conversation with you.
Right.
In Islam, everything has a tribunal. If you
Not true.
Yes, brother. How are you telling me it's not true, bro? It's my religion.
Right, you can divorce a woman by just saying, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you. You don't need a tribunal for that. You told me a lie. Don't lie to me, bro. I know your religion as good as you.
Can you let me finish?
Right.
When it comes to things like being an adulterer...
Doesn't say adulterer here.
But that's what it means. It says
No.
suspicion.
It's disloyalty and...
What does disloyalty
and ill conduct.
What does disloyalty
What
mean?
does ill conduct mean?
Ill conduct when you don't agree or follow the rules of marriage.
Thank you. So that's not just adultery then, is it?
But it has a tribunal.
That's not just adultery then, is it?
So what else does it include?
Right, so
disloyalty, no?
Here's the difference, Muz, right? Is you're operating under the idea that I am not aware of the principles of fiqh, and that I'm not aware. I bet you don't even know what fiqh is.
She doesn't know what fiqh is.
Right, but you're operating under the principle that I don't know what fiqh is, right? And whilst it is whilst it is true that under certain cases, particularly the ones that involve the death penalty,
Yes.
there has to be a tribunal.
Yes.
But
Even
that,
kind of hand.
yes, under those kinds of capital punishments, those kind of high-level punishments. However, it is not necessary under fiqh for a husband to take his wife to a tribunal to banish her from the bed. It is not necessary under a tribunal, under Sharia law, for a husband to admonish his wife if he thinks she's doing wrong. And it is not necessary under Sharia law for a husband to take his wife to a tribunal before he strikes her. And these examples in the Quran, based on suspicion alone, suspicion, not proof, suspicion, not fact, suspicion, not evidence, can result in the following. First, you wag your finger at her and you tell her off. That doesn't persuade her to change her ways because she's displeased you. Maybe she hasn't cleaned the house enough or hasn't done the pots enough.
You're starting to, your argumentation.
I'm a Christian, bro, and I don't believe women should be beat.
So if I find things from your New Testament that says the exact, wait, actually, even better, Old Testament, do you follow or do you believe in the New?
Why are we jumping away from the Quran?
Sorry. No, go on, finish.
Right?
All right, go on.
So firstly, to correct her and to correct you, it simply says on the suspicion. You can first you admonish them, secondly you refuse to share the beds, and then thirdly it says strike them. It says nothing about a feather, says nothing about a miswak, it just says strike them.
So then, again, it's the same as UK law. Because UK law, you're allowed to hit children as long as you don't leave a mark. That's all right.
Right, so you're equating women to children.
I'm not equating it, I'm saying...
That's what that's your defence. Your defence is, under British law, we can strike children to discipline them. So you're now defending wife beating. You are defending wife beating. That is exactly what you're doing. You're defending wife beating. You're defending wife beating. Are women children?
I'm going to ask you a question. I was
Right.
going to say, so with UK law, when it says you can hit children but without leaving a mark, would you agree with that? Yes.
Yes, I do agree that you can chastise a child.
Chastise
Now,
meaning?
that you can use physical discipline upon a
So you
child.
can smack a child?
Yes.
Okay,
Now,
so
do you agree with that?
in some cases,
Right.
some children...
Do you agree? I don't know if you guys are married. Do you agree he can hit you? Can he strike you?
If you can hit a child, and then I say an adult...
I don't agree.
Right. So you're equating... Look what Islam has done to you. You're equating yourself as a child because of Islam.
It's not done anything to you, no, but if you can hit a child, what difference is it with an adult? Are
Yeah.
children less
Firstly,
than
you just gave the game away. They're an adult. They're an adult. They're an adult. They're not a child. Children, in certain circumstances, need a harsher discipline because they're impulsive. They don't have long-term thinking. And for that reason, because they lack that ability to restrain their own behaviour, you can put in the fear of a physical punishment.
But wouldn't you say that gives less of a reason to do that to a child because they are developing and learning?
Let me ask you this question. Your entire defence... I'm going to answer your question, but I want you to engage with the counter-argument, because I'm saying the distinction is because they are a child. You are offering this as a defence of wife beating. You literally are. Then condemn it. Condemn wife beating.
Do you know what you're doing, Bob? Do you know what you're doing?
No, you don't want to. Go on. You accuse him of not answering questions, you're doing it yourself.
You, Bob, out of everyone should know how Islam operates. It's not just the Quran. There's
I know.
hadiths that go along with it.
Great.
There's contextual evidence that come
Brilliant.
with it.
So
If
let's
you
look at the
read
hadith.
Okay, let's do it.
Right.
But you can't just, you yourself, if I brought something out the Old or New Testament and I was like, do you agree with this? You would stand there yourself, Bob, and you would be like, no, you're being disingenuous. Would you not say that? You're bringing something out of context. You're not telling me the other verses. I'll be honest with you. I'm not Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa and all these lot to I'm not very I've done my research, but I'm not that well versed. So, but you are. You've done your research.
He mentions Muhammad Hijab. Note what hijab says here.
If you read the Quran just like that, without reference to the Sunnah, to the way of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that word becomes open to interpretation. A man now, a husband, can decide, okay, well, so like a nice man like you will say, no, this means strike a parable, yeah? Strike a parable. But this guy, okay, maybe not you, right? or someone like me, or some bad guy, right? Who's got more aggressive tendencies. Let's look at that word, daraba. Same word that's used for striving. I'm going to do that on my wife. Now the thing is, what restricts that man? Nothing restricts that man in the Quran alone. Why? Because that man now has absolute ability and right to interpret and extrapolate from that verse whatever he wants. So if you're Quran alone, you're steered towards pedophilia, and a severe type of pedophilia, a wife abuse, a severe type of wife abuse.
So if you take Allah's words just as they are, they advise on severe violence against women. The Quran does not state it requires further explanation from humans to decrease the severity of its proclamations. Why would we require various types of human explanations on God's words to reduce the severity? Does this sound like a god to you, or does it sound like the behaviour of a 7th century tribesman and his backwards views on women?
So let me engage.
Do you know where I'm coming
I
from?
do know where you're coming from, and you're absolutely right. You got to look at the hadiths.
And
you got to look at the
contextual
hadiths. Hold on.
evidences
So
that
here's
come
my
with it.
challenge to you.
That come with
Here's
it.
my challenge to you.
Verse.
Here's my challenge to you. Right? I'm going to look for a hadith. You look for a hadith. I'm going to show you a hadith where Muhammad ignores the fact that a woman is beaten by her husband to the point that her bruises are green.
Where
Right?
is this
I'm going to
hadith?
show you that hadith. Here's my challenge to you. Show me the hadith where Muhammad says you don't beat your wives harshly. Okay?
Find that for you.
Okay, show me that hadith. And I'll show you a hadith where he doesn't practice what he preaches. Okay? Or show me a verse in the Quran that says don't beat your women harshly. Because all the
Sahih hadith, if you can bring it from the
Yeah.
Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim.
yeah, but in the
we'll speak about it.
Arabic, the word just means strike.
You've got Arabs here. There's one Arab.
Yeah,
here, there's one
bro.
يقال في القرآن فهمت علي إذا كانت امرأتك ناشز تضربها ضرب التأديب لا التعنيف
Yeah, non injurious.
التوبيخ علي وقبل كذا الله عز وجل قال ما يصير ترفع ايدك فعظوهن اول شيء تعظها فهمت علي تقول لها
Sahih Muslim. Here, Bob. Already.
Right, go on.
The Sahih Muslim Book of Virtue, Hadith number 2,
Yeah.
23-28. The Messenger of Allah never struck a woman or a servant with his hand, and he never struck anything at all except in the cause of Allah.
Right, 1 second. Let's just think about what that verse says. He says
It's not a verse, it's a hadith.
It's a hadith. Okay, so let's just think about what that verse says. He says that he never struck anything except in the cause of Allah.
Yes.
That passage does not say about the intensity or the level of the strike, and it does confirm that Muhammad did strike things in the cause of Allah. It's not particular to wife beating. So I want to point out to you that it is tangential. At best, it is tangent. I'm being charitable, Mus, because you seem like a nice guy. But at best, it is tangentially connected to the topic.
There's a whole
And
hadith from the Prophet.
all it establishes is that Muhammad does strike, doesn't say whether he strikes hard or whether he strikes fast.
Here's another hadith. This is Sahih hadith. I'm not going to bring you some obscure Shia hadith from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Look, Abu Dawood and Ibn Majah graded Sahih by Albani. So do not, this is very simple, it's breaks it up. Do not beat the female servants of Allah, khalas.
Right.
End of, do not beat them at all.
Except that this is
Doesn't have
one
severity.
second. 1 second. Except that we're not talking about beating slaves. We're talking about wife beating.
Everyone is a servant
No,
of
1
Allah.
second.
I am a servant of Allah. My wife is a servant
Then,
of Allah. We're all servants of
in
Allah,
that case, Muhammad should have combined this. Let me just give you this. So this is Sahih al-Bukhari 5825. Rifa divorced his wife, whereupon Abdurrahman bin Az-Zubair al-Qurazi married her. Aisha said that the lady came wearing a green veil and complained to her, Aisha, of her husband and showed her a green spot on her skin caused by beating. Now, do you know how hard... Wait, let me finish. Do you know how hard you have to bruise someone for the bruise to turn green? Do you agree that that's hard? Right, let's go on. It was the habit of the ladies to support each other. So when Allah's messenger came... Now, let me ask, based on the hadith you've just given, what should Allah do next? Sorry, what should Muhammad do next?
Nah, he didn't say beat no one.
Condemn it, or can you just...
He should condemn it, shouldn't he?
Can I just read
Right,
it?
let's read on. Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. Why would Aisha say that? Look, her skin is greener than her clothes. When Abdurrahman heard that his wife had gone to the Prophet, he came with his 2 sons from another wife. She said, by Allah, I have done no wrong to him, but he is impotent and is as useless to me as this, and holding and showing the fringe of her garment. So in other words, they're having fertility issues. She wants a
Impotent,
divorce.
yeah, I get
Yeah, right? By Allah. So basically what's probably happening is he's not giving her a child. She's complaining about the fact that he's not giving her a child and he's beat her for it.
That's probably.
She's then gone to Aisha, showed her the bruise. Aisha has taken her to the Prophet and gone, no women are suffering as much as the Muslim women, in reference to beating.
Finish it.
Right? So we're looking for a condemnation. So here's what Allah says. Muhammad says. I'll skip to what Muhammad said. Then the Prophet saw the two boys with Abdurrahman and asked, are these your sons? On the Abraham said yes. The Prophet said, you claim what you claim, but by Allah, these boys resemble him as a crow resembles a crow. In other words, there is no condemnation of wife beating when an example of injustice and harsh wife beating is presented to the Prophet. So you've given me two hadith, one that says don't beat the slaves of Allah, servants of Allah, right? The servants of Allah. But then you showed me another one that said that Muhammad did strike in the cause of Allah. Those two hadiths
Times of war.
right, so your first hadith has nothing to do with the topic, agreed? Right, so now we're left with two different hadith. One that says don't strike the servants of Allah, and another one that says that Muhammad saw an example of wife beating and he did not condemn it. He just overlooked it. Now, according to Sharia, according to the principles of fiqh, is something halal if Muhammad sees it and says nothing against it.
Is something, say that again,
what-
if something is halal, is it?
So is it sunnah if Muhammad sees it and permits it, he doesn't speak against it?
Is it halal for us?
Is it sunnah?
Yeah,
No.
it is. It would be. It would
Yes,
wouldn't
it
be.
is.
It would be.
No.
Sunnah is something that the Prophet
Yeah.
does himself that we
It's a-
follow.
No, you've got a faulty
That's the
understanding. You've got
prophetic
a faulty
tradition.
understanding of sunnah. Sunnah is what Muhammad commands, what Muhammad does, and what Muhammad permits.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't swing
There you go,
about Isa.
permits. So Muhammad saw an example of wife beating where the bruise was green, and he permitted it. He did not condemn it. Show me the hadith where he condemns that beating. Because if he permitted it, it is sunnah. It is sunnah to beat your wives until they are bruised green. And then your wife has the audacity to challenge the Bible because of shaving heads when she's defending wife beating.
Brother, let's not get to your Bible because you got no legs to stand on if it comes to that. Let's just finish the Quran.
Okay, fair enough.
And then we can come to
I like
that.
you, Mus, because you stick on topic.
You are a bad liar.
You should come more.
You are very terrible liar. You will get beaten.
Right. So show me a hadith. Is that a threat?
Muhammad is going to beat you.
Is that a threat?
I'm telling you,
You're
man.
not scary enough, bro.
I'm
Go
not trying
away.
to
Why are you beating?
I'm telling you, stop telling
Yeah,
me.
it's got to be a zawaj. Yani,
It's what do you call it?
honestly, bro, Bob, I'm not.
Thank you. Mus,
I'm gonna have to make my research
I like you,
on
Mus,
this,
because you're a good guy, and I respect you, bro. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to be charitable. I'm going to concede. There's plenty of tasfir out there that say you do it lightly, right? But the problem with tasfir, so I'm even helping you now, right? The problem with tasfir is that they're just opinions. They're just
Educated
opinions.
opinions.
They're educated
It's the
opinions.
same as your church fathers making interpretations of the verses in the Bible. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
But for us, it's go on, sorry.
Right, exactly. So it's just an opinion. And the problem with these kinds of opinions is that they are all disputable. They're all disputable. Right?
Just like the
Now,
Prophet didn't sleep with
in terms of what I'm trying to get you to see, okay?
And the
Because
Prophet
you
didn't
said
beat
to me
women.
in the midst of this conversation, you don't agree with wife beating.
No,
Right,
that's it.
I
Tell
wanna-
him again, my brother.
Maz, I want to
Did
shake your
Prophet
hand.
Muhammad
You're a
beat?
good man.
Never. Prophet
Bro,
Muhammad
he's
never beat.
just going to interrupt our
I'm a
conversation.
Muslim as a Muslim.
Right.
I don't believe you should ever be your wife. If you're not happy
That's-
with that,
tell
leave
him
it.
again.
Right,
Tell him
and
again.
I just want to say, bro, I respect that. I respect you.
You
right?
shouldn't because it's normality. It's normal. You shouldn't be
But,
your wife.
but
Yeah, that's it.
but
That's it.
the
That's what Muhammad has
the
written
sunnah
inside
of the
you.
Prophet. Just ignore this guy because he's just kind
No,
of
it's fine,
forced.
it's fine.
Because the sunnah of the Prophet does permit wife beating. I want to show you something that I didn't get a chance to show
The
you.
Prophet, we know that.
Right.
We don't say
Right.
you fucking liar.
Right. So Let me just show you something that I didn't get a chance to show you the first time when we looked at this verse.
He's pulled out the
All right.
wrong one again. That's the wrong one. You know?
Yeah?
This is, you know,
So,
this is the wrong one.
The word...
This is the wrong Quran. He's got the wrong Quran.
It says it's the
There's
wrong
only one
Quran.
Quran.
No,
Yeah, well, actually,
there's
there
16
are
of them.
different Qurans.
There's 16.
There
How
are
many?
different
How many
Qurans.
is there?
About 31.
31. Right.
To the last count. Right, now, look, the word, because I went and looked up what the word strike is, right?
Dhahab.
It's shaka, beat. Moshin Khan, these are the translations. So Sahih International says strike, Shakar says beat, Moshin Khan translates it as beach, Pictol translates it as scourge, Muhaswa translates it as beat.
Dhahab means beat, yeah.
Yeah? Right? Now, tell me, give me examples of you beating something.
If you're cleaning your carpet, you're beating it with a stick. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like you got a carpet, you hang it up, you hit it with a stick to get the dust off, right? When someone says beat or strike or scourge, right, the thing that doesn't come to your mind is this, and may I? Right? What doesn't come to your mind is this. Nobody gets that in their mind when someone says beat or scourge, do they? Right? So when the Quran said beat or scourge, right, that's what it meant. It means beat, like proper slapping. And you, where are you from? Afghan, right. You know, I've got friends who worked as NGOs and missionaries in Afghanistan, right? If you're... Well, no, sadly. I take it
we're very hard-headed when it comes to our religion.
I take it you're not with the Taliban and you're not in favour of the Taliban.
Hell no.
Right, I actually think that we, just for the record, I think that the West let the Afghan people down. I think we failed you. And I feel ashamed at what we did in abandoning you to the Taliban. I really do. I genuinely feel that. In terms of Afghanistan, we both know that wife beating is pretty standard
That's a cultural thing, I'll be honest with you.
But hold on
I'll
one
tell you
second.
that as an Afghan.
Hold on one second. He's saying it's cultural.
Yes, it is.
Right? But I've got friends from Egypt. I've got friends from Jordan. I've got
very
friends.
backwards culture. I'm not going to sit here and
No,
say
hold
that
on one
it's
second. What I'm trying to point out to you is that this, like harsh wife beating, is commonplace across the Islamic world, and it is justified by the Quran.
My wife is English. Her cousins are hardcore Tottenham supporters.
Yeah.
When England,
Yeah.
when Saka missed the penalty in the Euros,
Yes.
if you go statistically search it, do you know what the domestic violence
Yeah.
went up by in the UK? So
I agree.
you could say the
The
same
UK is as pagan as Afghanistan
thing.
is.
Would you agree that the UK is not a Christian country?
Yes, I would agree.
Liberal democracy.
It is a liberal, secular, humanist society. It has abandoned Christ. It is not Christian, and it doesn't represent Christianity. But let me point out something to you. In our scriptures, if you were a Christian man,
Are you sorry, Bob. Are you Catholic or what? What would you?
I just believe in Jesus. I just follow Jesus. I don't buy into these denominations. But in the Christian faith, if you were a Christian man, you would be commanded in Scripture to love and honor your wife as if she was your own body. Now you tell me, would you beat your own body? No. So if we are commanded,
Shiites do that when they hit
right,
each other.
right. But as Christians, if we love and honor our wives like we love and honor our own bodies, well, we don't beat our own bodies, so we wouldn't beat our wives. But in Islam, because of the Quran and because of the hadith that I showed you, across the Islamic world, wife beating is epidemic, and it's not just in the Islamic world. Let me tell you a fact that you probably don't know. In the UK, we got women's shelters up and down the country. Half the population of our British secular and Christian women's shelters, guess which demographic they come from?
Pakistani, Asian.
Muslim. 50% of the women,
Yeah, I know, it's wrong.
and what percentage do Muslims make in British society?
Oh, I think it's
4%.
4%, yeah.
So you make up 4% of the British population, but you make up 50% of the population in women's shelters.
All right. I agree. It's not right.
Right.
It's disgusting.
But let me tell you something, Muz. Jesus said, you shall know them by their fruits, and by their fruits you shall know them. And one of the things that I know immediately about you is that you're a sincere man. A, because you were able to stick to the topic and you wanted to stick to the topic. And I'm going to return the courtesy and let you come and talk about the Bible now, right? Because you've been fair to me, so I want to be fair to you. So that tells me that you've got something good in you, something sincere. I just want to point out to you that all 4 of the Sunni madhabs, they all agree with wife beating. There's not one of them that says it's haram. That's my final word on the matter. It's up to you now to square your disagreement with what the madhab says are the sunnah.
I thank you for enlightening that. I need to make my more research about that, and I'm happy I came here today because
It's got you thinking.
I sometimes think to myself, I know a lot about my religion, but then when it comes to things like this,
We started off the conversation with Muz's wife, who I probably was a little bit harsh to. The lady who was with Muz, his wife, she has been sold a lie. That wife beating in Islam is all about, beating them with a feather, beating them with a miswak, doing it with your 2 fingers. None of that is in the Quran, none of that is in the hadiths. It's totally made up, it's total tafsir, it's complete fiqh, and it is not Sharia, it is disputable. It is highly disputable, and there is a reason why across the Islamic world there is a problem with marital abuse, of wife beating. There is a reason why in the UK, despite the fact that Muslims only make up 4% of our population, they make up nearly 50% of the women in our women's shelters. That's a problem. And it's a problem caused by the fact that the Quran states, if you suspect a woman of disloyalty or suspect them of doing something wrong, you can beat them. First you admonish them, then you banish them from the bed, then you beat them, and just on suspicion alone.
Remember, Muslim women, the more Islamified a society becomes, the less they will try to water this down, and the more they will treat you as objects that they can control, with violence if it is seen as required. The Muslim in this video strikes me as a decent guy who will take pause and seriously question what he was told growing up. I'm an ex-Muslim. We were lied to from birth about this religion. Only conversations and exposure will break this spell.